Have you ever wondered what it's really like to sail to other countries? To dive amazing locations and explore the world on a yacht? Then come with us.
Didn't think I'd come this far. At some point I stopped counting.
Wow. I know we're motoring, and purists out there would be saying you should be sailing. Can't when there's no wind. And have a look at the beautiful day. It is spectacular.
This is a belated halfway celebratory drink because we got halfway yesterday, but then the weather turned to shit. So we're doing it today because it is magnificent outside.
We're going early, just in case it goes to shitty.
Correct. So I'm making Denise a cosmopolitan.
And he's doing an excellent job as well. We're going to sit outside. It's probably still a bit cool, but hey.
Cheers.
Halfway to Tonga.
More than halfway.
More than halfway, actually.
We just couldn't celebrate it yesterday.
Would we say 6/10 of the way there?
Something like that.
I feel like an alcoholic. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but someone I met, I'd like to say who, but I don't remember, told me that if you fry your mushrooms, you can freeze them, and they actually come out pretty good. And what I know about the Pacific for sure is it's really hard to get mushrooms. Well, it certainly was in Vanuatu, Solomons, PNG. Like, we just had no mushrooms, so we got well through Indonesia. So I've got a few mushrooms left. We don't have any meals planned to have them in the next couple of days because we're about to go back to freezer meals. This is probably my last meal I'm cooking tonight for a while. So I thought I'd try the trick, which is I'm going to fry them in a bit of butter. Butter makes everything better. And see how they turn out in whenever I decide to defrost them. It'll probably be like for a pizza topping or maybe for a spaghetti bolognese. But yeah, I think it's worth a shot rather than throw out perfectly good mushrooms. I'll have to do it in 2 batches because mushrooms don't like to be crowded. To quote Julia Child, don't crowd your mushrooms because they sweat. And all the water comes out and you end up boiling your mushrooms, not frying your mushrooms in butter. They don't get the nice buttery flavour. Another fun food fact to do on passage is make sure you check your produce because once one of them starts to go, it can it's like an infection. They get everywhere. So I was just doing the citrus fruits because I really like my limes in my Cosmos, but also my Cosnos, which is what we have on passage. And I've seen this dirty bugger, so he's going in the bin. And then I'm going to wash the rest of them to make sure they don't have any, let's call it infection, as it carries across the rest of the group. Because we don't lose the rest of them, because they're very important to us.
The minutes, the days, the months, everything blurred so softly. Ooh, I think I see the clearing.
Actually happened a little while ago, while I was on my night shift, but I was a bit lazy. And unfortunately, we've also now turned northwest, which is not the way to Tonga. That's the way to New Caledonia or Fiji. But the wind has changed, so we will be going northwest, we think, for probably about 2 or 3 days. As long as we still get a bit of north in, we won't feel too bad, but that's when that low is coming through. So we'll do that for a couple of days, and then once that low passes, the wind will change and we'll turn and we'll head to Tonga.
It's about 8 o'clock in the morning and we've got a pretty healthy breeze of 17 to 18 knots. And we've been zipping along between 6 and 8 knots really, so pretty healthy sailing finally. But this is going to get progressively stronger, forecasting potentially up to 30 knots in about 30 hours time, so that with a messy sea is going to get pretty rough. However, we can tough it out for 2 or 3 days because we'll be there in 3 days at this rate, hopefully. Maybe 4 at the outside, depending on what happens with this low front coming through. Starting to get a bit sporty out there. just put one reef in, try and take some power out of the sail.
So can you stay for a while?
So it's about an hour before night time, so we thought preemptively we put the second reef in. So we've already got one reef in the main. We've reefed the head sail. We're about to reef the main with the second one. Are you ready?
Ready to go.
I am turning into the wind.
Get more to port, go to port.
So we've left the head sail out this time because it is already reefed, so it shouldn't get in the way, but it's quite bangy and flappy.
More to starboard. Well, we've got 2 reefs in the main now, and effectively 1 in the head sail. So it's dropped our speed down to about 6 knots. We're in about 20 knots of wind. It's going to be as high as, well, gusts of 35, so we're ready for that tonight.
But that's meant to be tomorrow night, those gusts.
No, it'll be about 2 or 3 in the morning.
Has it moved? Because it was meant to be Friday night. No?
I'm just telling you what it is in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
You know the conditions are getting a bit sporty when the unbreakable plates that don't tend to slip off surfaces and turn into this.
Well, seated, I shall pass you my plate.
I thought I'd give you an idea of what it's like to try and sleep while you're on passage, especially when it gets a bit sporty. So I'm going to turn the screen blank and turn the sound up, and this is what you hear. Still looking pretty ordinary, aren't they?
Very big waves now. Easy. 4 metres,
1.5.
maybe 5. Hitting the boat pretty hard. We are exhausted. Jamie was hallucinating last night. Saw a beagle walk through the coach house. We used to own a beagle, so maybe he was just coming for a visit. Very little sleep, very loud. Jamie's making coffee. And I don't think we've gone through the worst of it yet. Hopefully, it's less than 24 hours to go. We're lucky, maybe 12.
Yeah. Particularly happy with the conditions. We don't really have a say in the matter at the moment, do we? How's your coffee?
Really nice. Repeating my little mantra. Only one more day. Only one more day. Only one more day.
Time to play Wordle for the day. See how we go.
My clue.
Oh, Denise thinks. Denise thought that her word as the answer is how she's feeling at the moment. So this is what I've put. We'll see if it's correct.
Yeah, she's feeling grief.
Correct.
What was that bang before, Jane?
That was a wave smacking into the hull.
Pre-cooked meals in the freezer for lunch and dinner today, so we don't have to cook in this horrible weather. It does mean I've got to put my head in the freezer. It's a bit salty and wet out here, so not looking forward to this. Pray to the freezer gods that there's good food in here. Meatballs for lunch. Green chicken curry, Jamie. Easier than making it in this. Because we're heading northwest, not really making a lot of progress. And there's probably going to become a time where it's like an equilibrium, that Tonga's here and we're just sort of going like that. So we're not getting any closer, but we're probably not getting any further away either. However, we still did manage to get past the 300 nom mark last night. I saw it happen at about, I don't know, it was dark. But my care factor for crossing that off was really low. But we should do it this morning.
We now get to enjoy the rough weather with pissing rain. Well, that's now reading 31 knots.
Fast forward 24 hours, still living in a washing machine. Jamie just said, am I living the dream? No, not today.
34 knots. 35, 36. We just had our second reef in the mainsail literally break off. Rope's down there somewhere. And it's too windy to have the main up without having two reefs in, so we've lost the main for tonight. So we had to pull the headsail in, engines on, get the mainsail down, and now we've just got handkerchief size headsail back out and two engines on at the moment. It was up to 40 knots, settling down a little bit now, it's only about 30. And we're still waiting for this weather to change. It's meant to be swinging so we can go with the weather, with the wind, and it's meant to be dropping down to sort of 12, 13 knots, but it certainly hasn't done that yet. How's the weather?
Wet.
Just hit 45 knots of wind. As the low headed south, we had to bear off more and more to the west, only to find the low went completely over the top of us, meaning the wind direction changed by 180 degrees. Well, that was horrific. What we couldn't film was what did we get to? What did you see? 40 something knots?
I saw 47 knots.
47 knots. There was a massive rain and lightning storm that went over the top of us. That's when I shat myself. In the lightning storm though, it got ridiculously close to actually hitting us. I thought we were going to get hit. It was just horrible. And then obviously the eye of the storm went over us. Wind swung 180 degrees. So we followed that. We turned 180 degrees, so we got the wind behind us, and then sort of ran away.
Back into the storm.
It did seem like it was back into the storm. Wind picked up again. Anyway, we're now on proper heading to get us to Tonga. We're just on bare poles. We've got one engine just ticking over, really to give us some steerage. No, we've got two engines. Two engines just above idle, giving us good steerage to keep us on course, and then we'll address everything come daylight. It's just after midnight now, but we're not going to f with anything else tonight, are we? Anything you want to add? How you feel?
terrible. Nauseated, cold, wet, tired, frustrated, over it. Don't have any Ugg boots anymore. Soaking wet. They're bleeding out there.
Amazing. Somehow, Denise has found the energy to make a cooked breakfast and clean up the entire cabin and all the crap from last night. Alright, let's get this spinnaker up. Got some reasonable wind from behind us now, so if there's enough to hold the spinnaker up, we can get some nice, comfortable downwind sailing.
Too long waiting.
Down to 195 nautical miles. That 200 sucker is gone.
We didn't die last night in the lightning storm. And so we are treating ourselves to an alcoholic beverage. Because quite frankly, that was shite last night. But it's been a whole brand new day. It's like a completely different world today. The sun has shone, the spinnaker is still up. Boat is clean, remarkably clean for 9 days at sea. Normally at this stage it's starting to look pretty dodgy. But normally also by this stage we've lost all enthusiasm for doing anything other than just existing. But she's clean. And the outside as well, because it rained so hard. And the drying process today went very well. I got almost everything completely dry except our Ugg boots, which I'm not sure, they might be throwaway items. They are so wet. Jamie's shaking his head. In the meantime, one Cosmo, one beer. Taco's coming. It's Taco Saturday, not Tuesday.
Today it's all gonna change. Today you turn a whole new page.
And there was much rejoicing on the good ship Lukimyu. Let's cross that sucker off. Dun dun dun! First of all, I think we need some happy faces. That was a good day too.
I've got our flags out, and I'm just going to swap over the sister clips from our New Zealand flag to our Tongan flag. So the sister clips are a really nifty way of clipping them on and clipping them off. I've now swapped over the sister clips. Quarantine flag you have to show until such time as you've been checked in and cleared into a country. And if you want to know more about what's involved with actually getting in and out of countries when you're on a yacht, check out Denise's video, which is sailing to another country. Here's how to. Time to raise the flag. We really have had all manner of conditions on this trip. This is just beautiful. You know, we're cruising along doing 6 to 8 knots and about 13 knots of wind. The Pacific Ocean's got that beautiful blue colour, the sun's shining, and we've got less than 9 nautical miles to go. I wouldn't have believed it if you'd told me this 2 or 3 days ago.
I made shepherd's pie last night at sea with leftover pork roast that was in the freezer, just in case they take our pork. Don't think they're going to. And these are the last of our veggies: broccoli and some carrot.
Now, why would you want to go out when you got food like that on your plate, hey? To quote the castle. Night number 10. Beautiful sunset too. Reasonable wind. So with a bit of luck, we'll be in somewhere between 3 in the morning and 8 AM. The wind's meant to drop off a bit more, but the wind's meant to do a lot of things in the last 11 days.
Might take time, but don't you stop. Just believe in what you've got. Everything is going your way. Today is your day.
Well, we made it. We are in Tonga. Thank you for watching. Remember to give us a thumbs up. If you liked the episode, hit the bell for reminders, subscribe, and any comments you have about passages, leave them in the comments section below. Thanks. This is sailing vessel Lukimyu. Lukimyu, over.
Yes, good morning. Welcome to Tonga.
We are a sailing catamaran, 12 metres by 6 metres, 1.2 metres deep. Over.
Copy that. You can enter the basin, and once you enter the basin, you proceeding straight. Proceeding straight. There is a concrete wall, and tie up there. I'll contact the custom for your clearance. Over.
Confirm you'd like us to try up at the wharf. Over.
Yes, inside flower basin. Inside flower basin.
Inside the basin. Malo, over.
Today turn a whole new page. And if it all falls down, be strong, stand up. 'Cause you can cross any ocean, climb any mountain. And if you ask me, I'll always.
That was really, really easy actually. Once we had all 4 guys on board, then it was over and done with in about 15 minutes. But we probably waited an hour for them to get from the car park to us. That's okay.
Didn't take any food, didn't look around the boat.
No, very happy with everything. Very easy, very friendly. As has been our tradition in the last 5.5 years, every time we make it to a new country cruising, alive, hopefully alive, we have a bottle of champagne. Oh, Jesus, it's deserved, I tell you. We think we've fried perhaps one of our radios, or at least our antenna in that electrical storm, because it's not working. Here's cheers to country number 9.
And always know that you can reach the top.
Join us next week as we head north to the Vavau Group in Tonga and explore Swallow's Cave.
It's very pretty.
Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and place a comment below.